mocking me?
No, I'm not mocking you. It's Mocking With You, the podcast that settles the debates once and for all with your host, Lil B, and the hater.
Hello and welcome to the Mocking With You podcast. We have a very special episode for you today where we're going to bring you our Black Monday predictions for the NFL. But before we get into that, we got to give a very warm welcome to our new producer, Jolene, is joining the team. We're super excited to have her. Finally getting somebody to help us on the back end of everything so we don't struggle as much and give you a better content and a better episode. So thank you for joining us. Jolene is super excited to have you on the team.
Oh, heck yeah.
So, like I said, this week we are bringing you our Black Monday predictions for head coaches, GMs, coordinators, and both defense and offense. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. And apparently Hater loves himself very much and gave himself the first
I
pick.
did not do that. That was silly.
It was.
But I do love me for me.
Yeah, I know he's coming in hot because of earlier, so I'm just going to ignore him here. And
All right, that's the first pick. And guess what? No surprise, but picking Sean McDermott if the Bills get eliminated in the championship game. They gotta make it to the Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl or bust.
I think with the AFC being as weak as it is this year, this is like, is it weak or strong, or is it just top heavy? Because both the NFC and AFC, I could see anybody anywhere winning the Super Bowl this year. Like, I really don't think the Baltimore Ravens are as good. This is going to be the first time Patrick Mahomes is going to have to go on the road. Jacksonville isn't really that good. So, I mean, Miami
stand up. Miami stand up.
Yeah, so it's
the
going to be
Buffalo Bills really might. If they can get fired,
Yeah.
Get fired.
So
I mean, the Bills are getting hot at the right time. So
they really are. They finally got rid of their Ken Dorsey OC, and Joe Brady is getting that offense and using James Cook the right way. The big problem is getting Stephon Diggs more. He just seems uninterested. Is the best way for the Bills right now.
They're more involved. They're not involved as much.
Even when he gets involved, he's not playing. It doesn't seem like
it's not a fan guy. I don't know what it is.
He doesn't want to be in Buffalo anymore. He's being the diva of Terrell Owens and not wanting to. He's playing, but he's not playing, and he's kind of just throwing a diva moment trying to get out of Buffalo. I don't see Stephon Diggs being a Buffalo Bill next year. How about that? That's what I'll say.
And then we're talking about the window closing. The window of this team right now is closing.
I don't know how you say that. Like, they have Josh Allen and a good coach in a week.
It's been a while to get back to that. Then they never get back to that. So I'm saying get fired. They don't make it to the championship game.
You're saying fired, huh?
Mm-hmm.
With a little caveat. All right. I think that's a little
bullish.
A little bullish, yeah. Very much so. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but bullish, yeah. So
I think it comes down to what happens in the playoffs. If they're like a first round bounce, then yeah, he's probably gone. But if they go further, then I don't know.
I mean, the expectations are high. The expectations are here. Well, they
were 76 and like 40, I think. Well, I looked at it earlier. He's 71 and he's 75 and 46. I mean, he's well above.
Does not matter. The results matter.
I mean, his playoff record could be better. He is 4-5, but still.
Yep.
The get fired. Buffalo was nothing for so long before McDermott. And he was good.
I'll take Sean McDermott over here.
He was winning before Josh Allen. So to dump him so quick after the team has grown so much under him, I think is a mistake. if they fire.
What is that juice? We're talking about here. Let's go to the next one.
Alrighty. So you took Sean McDermott. I am gonna go with the off the wall one here because you did it. I'm gonna take Matt Eberflus here for the Chicago Bears, and I'm saying safe.
Oh,
I'm saying Matt Eberflus gets another year.
wow.
I say this because
go ahead.
I say that the only reason I say this is I think a lot of the issues of this team has come from a very poor roster. He took this team over in a very poor roster, and a lot of people want to blame the offensive struggles on Luke Getsy, the offensive coordinator. The defense has been solid under him with what the talent they have. And they have got better this year. They won 4 games his first year. He could end this season 8-9. That's a big improvement. And I think it's worthy of getting another year with potentially the same quarterback with a better OC, or move on from Fields and get yourself Caleb Williams in the draft.
What do I always say? What do I always say, Willie? They hired Luke Getson, sorry, not Luke Getson. They hired Matt Eberflus to fix the defense. He's a defensive minded head coach, and then he fixed the defense. This is like Brandon Staley doesn't have a job.
Yes.
He didn't fix the defense.
Exactly. I mean, there's still a lot of holes on this Chicago Bears defense, but with what they have, I know they spent money last year.
I like that trade for Sweat. That's what was really good.
Sweat's been fantastic. Terrell Edmonds has been good. They got Stevenson, and they got at Stevenson, the cornerback out of Miami. But who's their other good corner?
Stevenson, and then they had what's his name? Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson. I mean, they're building a good. They need to build up the front four. The front four is kind of weak. They added Sweat.
Let's do better.
I think Brisker's out the door, to be honest. I don't think they bring back Brisker.
And what's his last year?
I think it's Brisker. Or who's the other safety? Eddie Jordan. Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson's out.
I love Eddie Jackson.
Yeah.
But no, he hasn't really been effective.
No. So saying all that is why I think Matt Eberflus is safe and gets another year. I don't know how some of the Bear fans will feel about that, but I think because of this late on charge, late on charge and the late push the Bears are doing late in the season, feels like he gets another year. If they finished off poorly, I would have said he's out. But since they're pushing at the end of the season, they're technically still in the playoffs hunt. I mean, it's like a 2%, but they're not eliminated.
The first time in 5 years we haven't been eliminated.
So that's why I say Eberflus is safe. So,
no,
do you have anything to add, Joe? Or I know you.
Nah. I think that's an interesting suggestion. I imagine. I mean, maybe there's something with their new GM. You know, they just got their GM last year, right?
Well, the GM hired Eberflus.
Right. And so, it's kind of on their GM also of how much they have or don't have surrounding Justin Fields. So
I don't think we have him on there, do we? I don't see him on the offensive coordinator. So is Luke Getsy safe? We don't have him as an option. You could add him. I guess we could add him later.
I definitely assume that Matt Williams will say it, but that's bad assumption.
I would say if anything, Eberflus gets another year and Getsy gets fired, and bring in somebody. Again, I guess it's all on what they believe of Justin Fields too.
Yes.
If they think Justin Fields is the guy, you bring in a better coordinator to coach him up another year and give him another chance, or you completely nuke it all and start from
what does not make sense to me is I say Justin Fields. You know I'm not a Justin Fields fan, but you got a chance to have Marvin Harrison Jr. and an offensive lineman.
Well, the problem is Justin Fields is not going to be able to hit them deep consistently for Marvin Harrison.
It doesn't matter. It's not going to Justin Fields next year. You'll have a whole team built
I don't. The wide receiver is not the issue in Chicago. It's Justin Fields turning the ball over, and Justin Fields not be able to do the throws mid to deep accurately on a consistent basis. That's the issue.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I agree.
Well, we'll go ahead and let Jolene make her pick here.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with the home run because I'm pretty sure that Rivera is a goner.
Can we say he should have been gone already this year?
Pretty much.
That's the slam dunk. No, you're not going to get that wrong pick.
So, yeah, I mean, new owner's situation. They want their own guy. And here, I was listening to one of the radio programs this afternoon, and people are suggesting that dear old Belichick maybe head to Washington and help them clean up and get started for another era.
That's
what Ron Rivera was brought into, was to help the culture under a horrible owner.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, Ron Rivera should have never got another coaching job after Carolina. He did prove that he is a losing coach, or a Jeff Fisher, or what John Fox. 8-8, 500 coach. He's never going to win you more. He's never going to win you less. Plus this year, he's a consistent loser when you look at his overall. He has 2 magical years that really boost up his numbers, and the rest of his years are losing records.
Exactly.
So this is I think the Commanders did them badly, and we talked about this the other day, me and Chris, was that they should have did what the Raiders have done. Got rid of their head coach that is failing them, instead of letting him make more excuses, firing Jack Del Rio, blaming other people, they should have got rid of Rivera and let EB step up, Eric Bieniemy, and let him see if he was the coach in the waiting, like potentially Antonio Pierce is in the Raiders uniform over there.
Well, at least that Eric Bieniemy some experience, some other owners, and say, that all that stuff is just hyperbole. Like, we don't have to pay attention to that crap.
I think Eric Bieniemy did everything he needed to in Washington to prove that he could be a head coach, because I don't think. Well, Sam Howell was in the top. He's been leading the NFL, like in the top 2 of passing yards all season long, and with like a horrible offensive line and an average running back. I mean, Sam Howell did the best with what he could with the situation he was handed, and Eric Bieniemy had a good offense with a bad team. And that's not Eric Bieniemy's fault. He raised the talent to where the talent would go under 1 year, and I think that proves that Eric Bieniemy could be the best offensive mind coach under Andy Reid coming out. Because everybody's afraid of the Matt Nagy situation.
Yes.
All right, well, go ahead and know what your next.
My second pick.
Okay.
This one might be spicy for some people, but George Payton with the Broncos, their general manager, he's essentially responsible for signing Russ Wilson to a 5-year extension before he even played a snap in Denver, with 2 years still remaining on his Seattle deal, giving him $145 million guaranteed or something like that. He signed Randy Gregory instead of chasing someone like, say, Hassan Reddick or something like that to work on the defensive line for the Broncos. And everyone thought, he stole him from the Cowboys. Yeah, he wasn't much of a steal, honestly.
Yeah,
that one was rough. He's brought in so many free agents that have not panned out, and given them large contracts. Some of his draft picks have been like pretty high level, but I think you can only count them on one hand over 3 seasons.
How long has he been the general manager at Denver?
3 seasons.
3 seasons. So what was his first pick was then who? Jerry Jeudy?
No,
No,
Pat
after
Surtain.
that.
Pat Surtain the second was his first pick.
That's not
Okay,
that
so
hit.
that pick worked out.
Though everyone yelled that it should have been Justin Fields.
Well, they're wrong.
I agree on
you have
that.
the number. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no.
I guess the big thing is everybody wants to talk about the first picks. Yes, the first picks are the sexy picks. That's the name. But you don't build a team with first round picks. You build a team throughout the draft.
Exactly. So I mean, his first draft was pretty good. He got Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
He got Quinn Miners. He got Baron Browning. All those guys starters. He got Turner Yell, which has not been great. He's just special teamer for safety. He did get Caden Stearns, but he has been injured almost his entire career in Denver.
Yeah, I remember that. I was about to ask if I didn't know. I forgot he was a Bronco, but yeah, he's a guy that I forgot was in the league until you said his name.
I mean, Stearns, he was basically a starter this year, but what was it? Second or third game in, ACL, gone.
I heard it then.
Let's see who else was in that draft. Jonathan Cooper, who has been playing lights out. He has been amazing. Great outside linebacker. And that was a 7th round pick. So those guys, fantastic. But the next year, which is when the Russell Wilson trade took place.
Baron Browning,
Or one more. Baron Browning has been great when he's on the field.
He's I would say, arguably a top 20 edge rusher right now.
No, he's good.
But again, only when he's on the field.
Good. I think the findings have not been good.
Yeah, too many injuries. Greg Dulcich, injuries.
Yeah.
Promising tight end.
Yeah, I love the dude, but he doesn't get to play. Let's see. Just so many, I don't know. Lots of questions. Lots of questions.
I was firing him or was he safe?
My guess is if Russell gets cut, George Payton will also get cut.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta imagine he did that with Russell Wilson. Like you said, he had 2 years left. I mean, unless Russell was never going to play without an extension. And then the following year, I mean, he traded a lot for Russell. Nothing really has come out of that Russell Wilson trade of yet to make it say you guys won it or lost it. But I would say right now Seattle is gone in Seattle's favor. Then you guys the following year go trade for a coach that doesn't want Russell Wilson. So you put all the money into Russell Wilson and then give up a first-round draft pick, aka Bradley Chubb. It was a Bradley because that's what it was Bradley Chubb for Sean Payton. Bradley Chubb's a very overrated
and a second rounder this year.
And a second rounder this year for a coach that doesn't want to coach your franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit of a head-scratching move, and I would agree that you make those dumb things and then cost the company, the organization that kind of money. I don't think you get to stay around much longer to do your job.
And again, Hackett was Peyton's hire. And so this feels like a 3 strikes, you're out type of thing.
Yeah.
Peyton was not this ownership's choice. He came with the team.
No.
So that's another thing.
And didn't they do a lot of convincing by the Denver Broncos for Sean Payton to agree to the trade to come to Denver? Like, Denver was never really Sean Payton's first choice. He always wanted to be a Charger. Everybody wants to be under Herbert. Everybody wants Herbert. Right. Jim Harbaugh of Michigan wants Herbert. Sean Payton wanted Herbert. Everybody wants Herbert. But yeah, I agree. I think that's a good one. I guess I'll go. And I'll with my next pick, and I'm gonna take Arthur Smith for the Atlanta Falcons.
All right.
I just don't know. This one's a head scratcher. Like, they're still obviously in the front. I think right now, if you look at it, with losing to Carolina, that's a massive loss.
Yes.
Him refusing to use Bijan Robinson and overuse Cordell Patterson, Tyler Algier, Matt Collins, Jonnu Smith over Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan. Your 3 superstar blue chip players you drafted in the first round over a quarterback like Justin Fields, and sticking with Desmond Ridder for so long. Like, I understand they're in games, but like, I think the stupidity of him is what's going to get him fired. I think the not using your players is going to get Arthur Smith fired. Not using your workhorse wide receiver, your workhorse tight end, your workhorse running back, sticking with Desmond Ridder for so long.
I mean, if it really Arthur Smith's fault that his GM got him a terrible quarterback.
Yes, because he's probably the one pounding the table for Desmond Ridder in the 3rd round.
I mean, yeah, you're right. The problem with Arthur Smith is you got all these weapons and they're throwing it in front of Smith. It's like you said, why?
Yeah,
Why?
I mean,
Why is it getting all these weapons when you're using Arthur Smith and Cordell Patterson? No offense to Cordell Patterson, great player.
yeah, I mean, he was fantastic 2 years ago for him. Like, Cordell Patterson was winning people's fantasy
Tyler
football.
Algier.
Yeah, I mean, it was dumb to waste a high pick. Tyler Algier, another good running back. You had a good running back who just was like your rookie rushing record of over 1,000 yards his rookie year. And you're like, yeah, we got a good running back. Understand Bijan's a lifetime talent, but we have so many other holes on this offense. Let's draft the running back in the first round of the top 10 when we already have
They got Drake London,
running
but
back.
so the wide receiver core is pretty good. I just really think that the defense is getting better. Arthur Smith is the problem.
They're hiring all these like old veterans for 1-year deals. And that's the other thing. Like, you can't keep hiring you can't hire or go pay a Calais Campbell a 1-year massive contract or a Bub. Oh God, the old Steeler rusher, Ed Rusher. He's been bouncing around the league for a while. Oh, I can't think of his name right now. But they're signing all these old veterans to 1-year deals to help them out short term. But again, what did we talk about earlier, Chris? He was hired to make the offense better, and he's not making the offense better.
Not better.
And they have the tools. They have the tools.
What are we doing?
Fired. I already said fired multiple times. I said fired for Arthur Smith. Yeah.
Fired. You're fired.
You're fired.
Oh man,
Right.
I got that clear. Hold on, I'm looking at the fruit on my phone here. Let's see.
You can always jump over to the coordinators. We got 3
Oh, are
head
you
coaches.
thinking Dupree?
Bud Dupree.
Yeah,
there
we go.
Bud Dupree. Yeah, because they gave Bud.
rough
I mean, the only big defensive acquisition they did this past year for long term was Jesse Bates from the safety from Cincinnati. Everybody else,
Yes.
Calais Campbell 1 year, Bud Dupree 1 year.
It's been good though.
Jesse Bates is great. I'm just saying they're stop-gapping these important positions and needs because they're drafting offensive players and not using them.
Yep.
And so I didn't put a risque one in Simon doing it. So I'm just going to put a slam dunk one here. Dennis Allen.
Do we think Dennis is fired?
How can not be fired? He's had
He's a
3 years
defensive coach
now.
and you have a good defense.
But he's had 3 years now.
Has it been 3? I thought it was only 2.
I thought this was year 3.
No, because when
It's
did
been
Arthur? When
2
did
years.
Sean Payton retire?
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Peyton was only gone for 1 year.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So
This is his second year. Yeah, this is his second year, dude. He's 7-10 and 7-8 right now. His record is 7-10 and 7-8. He's 14 and 18 right now. It's 2 years.
Not great, right?
Not really.
No.
And not improving, really.
And then he has to play Tampa Bay and Atlanta to finish off the year.
Dude,
So he could easily be 7-10 again.
yeah, but when you wanted it in 7-10 again, like, are we okay with this? Like, I just
It was
like Ron Rivera again here.
Yeah, it was a bad hire when it was hired. You know that. I hate Dennis Allen. I thought Dennis Allen was a garbage hire when Peyton did what he did.
I think it's time for the New Orleans Saints to move on. They gotta get somebody fresh in there.
Well,
You
am I
figure out
right?
who later. Fired.
Yeah, well, the New Orleans Saints are in the same situation that the Los Angeles Chargers have been in for a very long time until most recently is where they've had the same general manager forever, and the Chargers finally got rid of the guy. The Saints, Mickey Loomis has been the general manager since 2013.
Loomis is not in the pilot, though. I don't think that's why he's not on the list. I didn't say.
No, I think that organization needs a up and from the top down change. I think it's time for Mickey Loomis to go. Like another guy who has been horrible at free agent acquisitions and trading and everything. You could tell me. I mean, he's hit a couple. Yeah, Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas. But look how quick Michael Thomas panned out. But whatever. Different story. Go ahead, Chris. Next pick.
All right, don't know it's that. Don't know it's that. And I'm gonna totally flip this on its head here. Not fired, not fake, but traded.
Uh-huh.
He's going to trade himself. He's the general manager.
Hey, guess where he's going.
That would be fantastic. Go and gift. Trade myself.
I'd like to trade myself.
Oh my God, the story writes itself. Belichick traded himself. Is that even legal? Are you allowed to trade yourself?
Who technically is there?
He is. He's the general manager.
Yep, he is. But hey, that means he gets to go wherever he wants to go, right?
Exactly.
Patriots are going to be looking for a lot of things.
Yeah, he's the general manager, man. Like,
yeah,
so
well,
2 for 1.
I think he'll do the New England Patriots are solid. He'll get them a draft pick and get himself out of town.
Who's going to trade for him, though?
Who's not going to trade for this guy?
I don't know. I don't know. I think Bill is a little.
I think Washington it could do it.
I think the NFL is bypassing Bill Belichick, is what I'm going to say. I think Bill just needs to go into the sunset.
No, he's facing that win. He wants to get that record.
No, Andy Reid's going to get it.
He's ahead of Andy Reid, though. Go ahead.
So I'm going to do this for myself, and we're going to talk about my favorite. I'm going to talk about my favorite coordinator ever, and I'm going to take Joe Barry here.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah. So I have little to no faith right now that he gets fired, and I'm going to call Joe Barry safe.
Oh.
I do not see Matt LaFleur. If Matt LaFleur was going to fire Joe Barry, it would have happened. There has been nothing in the last 3 years that Joe Barry has done right for Joe Barry to keep his job. But Matt LaFleur, even after the fall apart of the Carolina game, Matt LaFleur blamed the offense for the defensive struggles. Literally, Matt LaFleur said, it's our fault that the defense gave up those final 16 points because we didn't stay on the field.
So how,
Joe Barry has blackmail, the best dirt of all time on Matt LaFleur. And I honestly believe this at this point at this career is that Matt LaFleur had to put his job on the line to hire Joe Barry over others when that happened 3 years ago.
Not like blackmail on him.
I honestly I think Matt LaFleur I understand there's a new organization thing after like the last like mix up a couple years ago that the GM is not technically over the head coach. Actually, Mark Murphy, the CEO, kind of is. It's a weird thing going on in Green Bay right now. But I honestly believe Matt LaFleur had to tell both Mark Murphy and Brian Gutekunst, the general manager, that Joe Barry is his guy. He'll put his job on the line if Joe Barry's not successful. Because Joe Barry was a 2-time loser, led the 0-16 Detroit Lions. A couple of years later, then was the Washington Commanders defensive coordinator and was horrible. Joe Barry, in his career now, has been a defensive coordinator for 8 years and has never had a defense above the top 23. His defense. Yeah,
like,
he got a third.
How does this guy still have a job? Is my question.
That's my point. Joe Barry, somehow, somewhere, you can't convince me otherwise. Besides Matt LaFleur put his job on the line for Joe Barry, and next year is when Mark Murphy is out the door. Mark Murphy is going to be forced retired of age, so the Packers will have a new CEO or whoever gets voted in. It's a weird thing because we're publicly owned. So my thing is that Matt LaFleur is going to get another year with Joe Barry. And then after that, the 24 season's over and Joe Barry fails again, Matt LaFleur will be fired because I don't see the Packers won't make the playoffs again with a bad defense. And that'll be 3 years straight where the Packers don't make the defense. The Packers fire LaFleur, and that forces Joe Barry out. That's the only thing that makes sense at this point. I don't see Joe Barry getting fired. Joe Barry will get fired.
So Matt LaFleur is going to get fired before Joe Barry gets fired.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I honestly don't see how Joe Barry do I want Joe Barry fired? 1,000%. We have spent so much draft capital on the defense. We have 8 first-round draft picks on our defense.
Remember
allowed under Joe Barry, we allowed Tommy DeVito be NFC Player of the Week. Kenny Pickett to destroy us. Jimmy Garoppolo destroy us, who got benched for Aiden McConnell. We've got destroyed by Baker Mayfield. Russell Wilson, but who got benched. We allowed Baker Mayfield, the only quarterback in NFL history to have a perfect quarterback rating at Lambeau Field under Joe Barry. We allowed Bryce Young to torch us up. The history of the Kingmaker, Joe Barry. That's his nickname now in Green Bay, is that Joe Barry's the Kingmaker for quarterbacks.
That's awesome.
Hey, quarterback bad? Don't worry. Come down and play the Packers defense.
That's what I'm not joking. I'm going to the Packers game this weekend. I was just talking to Chris. I will be at US Bank Stadium watching the Packers play the Vikings this weekend on New Year's Eve. And I guarantee you Jaron Hall will throw for 250 yards.
Remember how high I was on Jaron Hall? So yeah. If that happens, it'll happen.
Yeah, just be prepared for it. But every week, Matt LaFleur finds an excuse for his buddy Joe Barry. I don't see it changing for the end of the season. And Packer fans, just be ready for when it doesn't happen, because I really don't think it's going to happen. But if it does happen, I will go streaking down to town where I live at right now.
It's cold up there. Oh man.
Not right now. It's not. We've been sitting in the 40s, so I'll be okay.
It snowed here the past 3 days.
Rain.
That's all you got? What?
Yeah,
what world are we living in? All right, go ahead, William.
It looks like she's talking to one of her kids.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm being attacked.
No, you're fine.
Before I get attacked, I'm going to throw in Rabel. You want to say hi?
My Rabel.
Yep. And I'm going to call him safe.
I like that. I think he deserves. It's not his fault for what's happening in Tennessee.
No, I mean injuries galore and
horrible trades after horrible trades.
And trade after horrible trade. Yes. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I think they'll give him another shot, and they'll have a complete off season with Will Levis, and maybe get their offensive line glued back together. Who knows on that one though?
Yeah, the only thing I can see why he doesn't is that the general manager wants his own guy.
Right.
It's not the general, but even that general manager made a bad trade. It's like still the general manager before him trading AJ Brown away. Like you saw when that trade happened, how mad Mike Vrabel was.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad for Vrabel, and I just wish he can get back to a better situation. I wish he could be.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because I think Vrabel's a great head coach. I just wish he had a situation where he could actually have a good system under him that would allow him to thrive.
Yeah, I just think that he needs.
Baby's so done. Baby's so done.
Yeah, I'm putting him on the safe bench for right now.
All right, who's your next one?
Safe.
Well, I think that's all the head coaches. So, man, I think I'm going to go with my Broncos theme. And dear old Vance Joseph, we were calling for his head in week 5. No, week 3, we said, don't even let him on the plane after that Miami game.
Yeah.
Oh my
gosh. Him to be able to keep his job.
Yeah. How he kept his job, I'm still puzzled, but I guess he was basically playing third string defensive guys most of that game. And it showed.
Yeah. That Vance Joseph, I don't know how he got another job as a DC.
I'm wondering also, honestly. But this is kind of funny because if Dennis Allen gets fired,
I was just putting that in my head.
Sean Payton's totally gonna bring his guy over to the Broncos like everybody else at his harvest.
Sean Payton's just sitting there like, come on, fire Dennis Allen.
Yes.
Hello? Dennis Allen? I'm waiting for you.
Yeah.
I got a job lined up. How would you feel about that? With Dennis Allen's your DC?
Gosh, I don't know, because it feels like things were starting to work for Vance Joseph, but when they can't produce turnovers, then they suck. So I don't know. It's tough, but the offense wasn't really putting the defense into good circumstances either. Fumbles in their own territory. The Broncos have just produced so many fumbles on the offensive side of the ball.
That's always been a Russell Wilson trait, though, too. That's also another issue. He's always had fumbling.
I think Russ had like 10 fumbles. Not necessarily like all of them lost on recovery, but I mean, a lot of them happened on, say, a third down or something like that, and that's essentially a turnover.
I even feel like he had 1 or 2 against us when we played the Packers-Broncos played.
I can't remember that one because I didn't get to watch a lot of that one. But
let's see that Green Bay game. There it is.
So the problem with Russell Wilson is what made Russell Wilson so good when he started was his improv. He was
Right.
one of the best improv guys.
Yep. And he still is. I mean, fourth quarter, he has all the comebacks, because that's when he's allowed to go and play his game. But Sean Payton is saying, no, this is my game. We're going to play it my way. And I think it's turning into my way or the highway. So, but yeah, I guess this is a if or question. And it comes down to if Allen becomes available, then I do think Joseph is going to be shown the door. But if Allen doesn't leave the Saints, then Joseph will probably stay on another year because Peyton is so full of himself, he's not going to say that he was wrong.
So this is more of if Dennis Allen is fired, Vance Joseph is fired.
Exactly.
So in this situation, Vance Joseph is fired because we said Dennis is fired.
In this situation, we're going to say it's a swap.
An easy, quick swap. All righty. Yep. So I guess I'm going to keep it moving here with the – and I'm going to just go back because we added it, and Jolene was on top of it. And I'm going to throw it on here because I said he was safe. And I'm going to say Luke Getsy is going to be fired. I think if with Eberflus stays safe, that Getsy gets fired, is going to be shown the door, and that they're going to go hire. They're going to need to go get themselves a more proven offensive mind veteran coach. Mm-hmm. And this is also in the situation that they decide to keep Fields. Even if not, even if they say not Fields, at number one, they take Caleb Williams. You're going to go back with another young quarterback. So you're going to need but no matter what, I think with Fields or Williams, they're needing a more proven veteran offensive mind head coach.
They have somebody that's into him.
Honestly, too, in this situation, he was successful as an OC. Arthur Smith
we just fired him.
We just fired him. Bring up Arthur Smith. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of these coaches that are getting fired are defensive mind guys. So there's not a lot of offensive mind guys right now that we have. I mean, I wouldn't put. You could maybe go knock on the door for Raiders' old head coach, Josh McDaniel. You can't go ask Josh. He's a good coordinator. You could go with Bill Belichick again, 100%. But I'm just saying, you're going to need some. You're in this situation. You got to get rid of the young guy who's struggling as an OC and go get a more veteran offensive coordinator to help your young quarterback, whoever may that be. So I think Getsy is out, which would I think in this situation, I think a lot of Bear fans would be happy that Eberflus gets another year. They get rid of their OC. They keep Williams and draft Marvin Harrison. And I think Bear fans would be ecstatic with this offseason. I'm being friendly to the Bears and screwy to my Packers.
Wow, a turn of events here.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't like it, but, things happen. But, yeah, I'll say Getsy gets fired.
I think Bears should go chase someone off of the Shanahan tree because, look at what Ryans has done in Houston. Holy cow.
Well,
yeah, I just don't know who's on the Shanahan tree right now, or nobody on the McVay trees really worked out.
Yeah, not really.
You had the one glorious year of Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor's been a heck of a job with what he's got.
But a lot of people thought they were going to fire him. Remember, he had like two really bad years and thought everybody was out the door, and then he had the miraculous Joe Burrow Super Bowl year. He could be that guy.
Last year was good. Last year was good too. They want to
Kevin O'Connell has been fine. He doesn't have cousins, and most of his
Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell's not on the list, I don't think, but we'll go ahead.
No. Kevin's only year
be
2.
On the list. No. He's not on the list. I'm just saying he's part of the McVay tree.
I just think I'm just saying the Shanahan tree's been better.
Yes.
All right, I got no choice here. Well, actually, I do. No, Brian.
All right.
Where you going?
No
He's
way.
gonna be. You're kidding, right?
From the New England Patriots.
You gotta be kidding me. Is that the present that the Patriots are gonna leave?
Merry Christmas.
Oh my God! Are you kidding? You really say Bill O'Brien, Bob is safe?
Yeah.
Even with their head coach, they didn't.
Barry Batman hasn't been bad. Matt Jones has never been the good pick. He should have never been the pick.
I thought Mac was gonna be a lot better. I thought him falling down where he was and the Patriots getting him. I thought he was the perfect situation for the Patriots, but I really like Mac. Mac disappointed me. I really liked him coming out.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he was good for 2 seasons, but 1.5 maybe.
Yeah, 1.5. Yeah. His
Well,
rookie.
then
I thought
often,
Zappi was,
but that's it.
again, and there's another one. We made Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi look like the next coming of Jesus under Joe Barry defense.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Coming, baby. We make all bad quarterbacks look great.
Yeah.
The list is long, is all I'll tell you. The quarterback.
You can join the Broncos defense on that one of making Bailey Zappi something crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Bailey Zappi. Yeah. I remember when we hurt Mac Jones at Green Bay, and I was like, "Oh, Bailey Zappi's coming in." Packers won this game. Bailey Zappi torched us and won the game.
Woo! Well, just one off.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, but I mean that is it for this week's episode. There's our predictions. Again, you can look at it in front of you. Chris coming with the hot fire early, saying Sean McDermott gets fired because he knew I was going to take him, pick 2 and save him, because that's fine. But we got a lot of firing. There's going to be a lot of head coaching. We already got 3 head coaches fired. You got Frank Wright, you got Josh McDaniels, and you got
Brandon Staley.
Who?
Yeah, Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley fired.
Chargers.
Which the rumor is, for you fans out there, that it's a done deal. Jim Harbaugh is your next head coach and general manager.
Woo.
So
Rumor.
it's pretty much it's a rumor, but it's like it's not been said anything until the college football playoffs are done. But it sounds like the Chargers full focus. I guess the rumor was as soon as Jim went out for the second stint on his sanctions is when the rumors really started.
That's when my owner picked up the phone, like he was on the phone. Hey Jim, how would you like to coach my team?
Yeah, and
I'll pay you
Jim
a bunch
loves
of money.
Justin. Jim loves Justin Herbert, so
Who doesn't?
we'll see. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. But again, thank you for a great week. Thank you, Jolene. Again, we're excited to have you. It was a fantastic week, and thank you for everything. We're excited to have you as part of the team. And
Welcome to the show.
Of course, Jolene, give them your new since you're new that nobody has your @ so make sure you shout yourself out until we can get your @ on here.
Yeah. Uganda's Joy, and a 01 after that is my @ on the Twitter box. And that's really the only spot that I go.
Oh, and hey, look at that with the reaction show. Remember the reaction show.
And again, we appreciate you listening, and we'll see you next year. And again, if you haven't picked it up on it, she's a Denver Broncos fan. So all you Denver Bronco fans, there you go. We're adding into it. We just need to get more NFC on this side. But
we need more NFC. Yeah, one more NFC.
Yeah.
Have a great week.
All right. See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Mocking You podcast. Yours truly, Lil B at Brunelli Sports and the Hater at Supercharged 33.